Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Tsukihime. When we last left off, we were sitting in the sitting room. And, there was the whole being scolded by, both Akiya and Hisui. Not a good morning for Shiki. Not a good morning for Shiki. But anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? After I eat lunch, Akiya and Hisui are still in the sitting room. It wouldn't be good to ignore them and go back to my room, so I sit on the sofa across from Akiya. Here's Shiki-san. You prefer green tea, right? Kohaku-san places an after-meal cup of tea on the table beside me. Yeah, thanks. Oh, if you hear any shuffling around in the background, my feet are cold and I'm moving my feet around a lot. I'm trying to not to, so it doesn't, get picked up on the microphone, or I don't bump my table or anything like that, but, it is what it is. If I do, I apologize. Yeah, thanks. If you don't mind then. No, not at all. This is your home, so please relax a little more. Kohaku-san must be trying to make me feel more comfortable here because she takes good care of me. Jeez. Thinking I'm already used to this place. Do I still look a little strained? Yes, just a little bit. Your shoulders seem a little tense. I wouldn't say you should be like back then, but you certainly can relax a bit more. Kohaku, you shouldn't spoil Nissan. He's been living like a sloth at the Arima's house so long, it's probably good for him to be a little tense just at first. Akiya-sama, you really are strict with Shiki-san, are you not? I don't want to be strict. It's just that he is always so spaced out, I have to watch out for him. I'm a little surprised. When Akiya talks to Kohaku-san, there isn't any hint of a usual coldness. Maybe it's because they're so close in age, but they seem to be really good friends. I don't think there's a canon age for them. If I recall, Akiya is, 15? Shiki's 17, I believe. It might be 14, 16, but I think that it's 15, 17, something like that. And I think that the sisters are in. I think Hisui is supposed to be the younger one. God, I don't remember actually. I think they're supposed to be very late teens or very early 20s, like 19 to 22 range, I believe, but I don't remember. I don't know if there are canon ages or not. If there are, please tell me. I would be very curious. But that is the impression that I got was 18 to 22. With, if I recall, I think Hisui is younger. I want to say, to me, it feels like 20 and 22, 19, 21, something like that. But I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. Hell, they could be 30 for all I know. I'm kidding. They're not 30. They're not 30, but they are older than Shiki and Akiya by a good couple years. I do know that, unless the information that I have been told over the however long it was I have read this and been keeping up with it, it just is completely wrong. But it is possible. People like to make stuff up all the time. Headcanon and all that. I glance over at Hisui. Actually, this is bothering me. I will be back in just a moment. And I am back. I might have actually started that mid-sentence, unpaused that mid-sentence. Oh well, it happens. I noticed something that I thought was true, but I always misspeak about it because of the terms they use in the game. Kohaku is the older twin, but they are twins. And it's always something that in fiction I always forget about because I don't have a twin. So I never think too much about it. But Kohaku was the older twin, and they don't have any ages listed as far as I could tell at a very cursory glance. But I do think they would have to be older than Shiki and Akiya. They are not by a ton, but by maybe 3-4 years. Just a guess, but fanon and all that. Since Akiya dismissed all of the other servants except for Hisui and Kohaku-san, I think Hisui must be trusted by Akiya as well. But since Kohaku-san is her complete opposite in personality, I have a feeling that there isn't much talk between Hisui and Akiya. May I be of service, Shiki-sama? Hisui realizes I was looking at her and asks me if there's anything she can do. No, it's nothing. I was just thinking that you're really calm. Yes, it is something that Makihisa-sama taught to me. She answers very distinctly. The answer is so distinct, I can't continue the conversation. An uncomfortable silence ensues. As if sensing this, Kohaku-san starts up a conversation. I don't know why my mind went to Akiya at the moment on that. I don't know. I'm weird. Shiki-san, is it okay if I ask a question? Yeah. I'm vaguely distracted. It's very windy outside and it's just distracting. What is it? It seems like you left last night again, so I was wondering if you had some usual, scheduled routine to take care of every night. God, it is really windy outside. It's not being picked up on the microphone, I know, because I've checked that in the past. It's really fucking windy. Like, I can hear trees blowing loudly over the roof of my house. Tree limbs, I guess, not trees. They're not whole trees over the roof of my house. That would be horrifying. It's really windy, so if I'm distracted, it's because it's windy and it's fucking creepy sounding. No, I don't have anything like that. The past 2 days were just something special. I look over at Hisui. She just quietly watches the two of us. It's alright, Kohaku-san. I won't go out late at night anymore. Besides, I'm not a kid anymore, so it's not like there's any danger or anything. Oh? Are you still saying that sort of thing, Shiki-san? Hisui-chan, don't you feel the same way? It is as Nesan says. Shiki-sama, you are the eldest son of the Tono family, so please refrain from doing anything careless. See? Even Hisui-chan is angry. You are anemic, so you shouldn't strain yourself, you know. I was told this by your personal physician too, Shiki-san. Well, that's true, but it has nothing to do with going out late at night. If I can't walk by myself, I shouldn't go to school either, right? It does have something to do with it. During the day, it is bright outside and someone could help you, right? But at night, it's different. There's been all these vampire murders recently, so if you go outside and collapse, what do you think will happen? Without thinking, my body shudders. Just hearing someone else use the word vampire like this really reminds me that it was Yumizuka killing those people. No, it's okay, Kohaku-san. There isn't a vampire out there anymore. Those incidents, they won't happen ever again. Because Yumizuka Satsuki is no longer in this world. Oh? Is that true, Akiya-sama? I haven't heard anything about it. The one to ask is Nissan, since he seems to know something about it. Oh yeah, there was a victim from your high school, Nissan. Year 2, Class 3 is your class, right? Eh? There wasn't a victim from my class. Shiki-san, you didn't see the news this morning? Last night they found a large quantity of blood from someone named Yumizuka Satsuki in an alley off the main street. Actually, I think this is probably Kohaku, but I'm not going to swear to that. Because, God, It would have... I don't remember. Who cares? The blood seems to have been there for a while, but from the amount of blood there, they say she is more than likely dead. Again, that was probably Kohaku, but, you know, I started it as Akia, so I might as well have finished it that way. I guess. I have no reason. I'm just stubborn or something. My heart starts to throb violently. The fact that Yumizuka Satsuki is dead, I know that better than anyone else. But when they say that she's dead, it sounds like you killed her, didn't you, to me. Nissan? What's wrong? You're really pale. No, it's nothing. My mood starts to sink. Thanks to Hisui, my heart was able to be calm, but with just this conversation, it almost collapsed. Is my heart really this weak? Everyone, let's have a welcoming party tonight. Just like that, Kohaku-san makes an announcement in a loud voice. Huh? Aki and I say the same thing aloud, and even Hisui tilts her head. A welcome party for Shiki-san. Everyone is here, and we haven't even celebrated Shiki-san's arrival yet. So, tonight should be Shiki-san's entrance party, or welcoming party. Right? Kohaku-san looks at me and smiles. Crap. Why are Hisui and Kohaku-san so able to read my feelings? Akia-sama, is that acceptable? If you allow it, we can start the preparations right away. Yes, Nissan has finally come back and we haven't even done anything. I think it's a good idea, but Hisui, you agree, right? Yes, if it is acceptable to Shiki-sama, I do not think it will be a bad thing. The three of them turn to stare at me. I've decided not to have any regrets, and I don't want Kohaku-san to worry about me. I'm in favor. I'm not about to turn down a welcoming party, am I? Fun fact, you don't get a choice. You have to have the party if you are trying to do Kohaku's route. Little bit of fun there for you. But, you know, it's not like we would have denied it anyway. That would be stupid. Like, outright dumb. You have to party. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's decided. Well then, I'll prepare the food. Hisui-chan, can you take care of my work for today? That will be fine. Sweeping the lobby and the east building, right? Well then, I shall. What should I do, Kohaku? Akia-sama and Shiki-san should rest in their rooms. I'll prepare dinner early to make time for the party, so if you have anything you need to do, please try and be done by then, okay? Kohaku-san goes into the kitchen, Hisui out to the courtyard. Well then, I'll go to my room. So, what should I do? Sadly, only one of these options gives us points, and it's not with Kohaku. But very quickly, I am going to drink a bit of water before I choose my choice. And even though it doesn't get us any points, I don't want to get Hisui points because I don't want to be dumb and accidentally ruin things. But I don't think I can do that at this point, so it doesn't matter anyway. But still, it's Best Girl's route. We have to hang out with Best Girl. What else will we do? That's right, nothing. So we are going to go and help Kohaku. To be honest, Kohaku-san has the hardest job because she has to prepare the feast for the four of us. I don't think I can help that much in cooking, but I'll go see Kohaku-san. In real life, I would do this no matter what because I can, cook quite well, and I can be a sous chef. I can cut up a bunch of shit. So, it's the easier thing for me. And it's not as boring to me because I can focus on things, and it's something I enjoy. I don't particularly enjoy cleaning. I can clean. I know how to. It's not, hard. But, I'd rather cook. It's much more fun. The kitchen has already become a battlefield. On each counter, there is a mountain of ingredients, and I get the urge to turn around and go back as soon as I enter. Shiki-san, is there anything I can do for you? Kohaku-san peeks her head through. No, I was thinking maybe I could help or something. But... I'm trying not to sneeze into the microphone. But it seems like I've entered a world where I shouldn't be. Huh, that really helps. To tell the truth, I was thinking of going to ask you for some help. Really? But I don't really have any cooking skills, so I'm unsure if I even can help, Kohaku-san. Not at all. It is something anyone can do. Come on, please lend me a hand. Kohaku-san takes my hand and pulls me with her. Not really understanding what's going on, I end up helping Kohaku-san. After calming down a bit, I realize the kitchen is actually pretty small for a mansion so large. Yes, that's a small kitchen. It is much bigger than mine. I wouldn't kill to have a kitchen that big, but it'd be nice. I do cook quite a bit, and I like cooking, so they probably had a much bigger galley when there were many people living in the mansion, but with just Akiya, Hisui, Kohaku-san, and I, they had this smaller kitchen prepared. Here, please wash your hands and use this apron. I don't know whose taste this is a reflection of, but she hands me an apron that says quiet, unsociable person on it. I wouldn't mind having an apron that says quiet, unsociable person on it. That'd be pretty funny. And apt. I'm a very quiet, unsociable person. Except when I'm not. I'll start off with a simple task, Shiki-san. When it's all done, I have another task just for you. Kohaku-san is in a good mood. First, I have to take the shells off all of these shrimp. If I recall, and I haven't made shrimp before, if I have, it hasn't been many times, you want to leave the shells on shrimp. You just want to devein them, because you don't want the shit sack. To give a little Gordon Ramsay quote there. But if I recall, the shells of shrimp actually have a lot of flavor, and if you take them off, you should save them and boil them for stock. Or I guess technically simmer them for stock. But still, you should make stock out of them. Because, again, the shells have a lot of flavor. That's how you make fish stock. At least one of the ways. Whick, whick, whick. The sound of a knife lightly hitting the cutting board. Kohaku-san's humming fills the kitchen. She must be immersed in cooking because she doesn't say much. As for me, I actually enjoy peeling the shrimp and keep on peeling the skin. I really hope he's deveining them. I really hope so. I mean, you don't technically have to, but you should. You really should. This really brings back memories. But before the incident and before I left the mansion, I played like this several times with Kohaku-san and Akiya. We were young then, and we didn't even think about how we were of the opposite gender. We were just in this spacious mansion, and all we knew was the continuous fun of every day. We played around so much we forgot about all the things that bothered us before. Or maybe, in order to forget the bothersome past, we tried to pass our days with as much fun as possible. Shiki-san, you really have been taking a liking to peeling those shrimp, haven't you? Uh-huh. No, not really. Why do you ask? Because you look like you're having so much fun. You know, Hisui-chan, her eyebrows would always be scrunched up by the time she gets done. Really? I'm surprised. She looks like the type that would do it without complaint. Yeah, for some reason, Hisui-chan's poor at cooking, but she is really great at cleaning and arranging things. Is that so? I always felt that both you and Hisui could do anything. Yeah, I guess this is a sort of way to show that their personalities are different in ways it hasn't already, with Kohaku being the more of a chaotic one, and Hisui being more of an organized, orderly one. With the whole obsession with cleanliness and God, I was have to make a reference. I should make my body clean again. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. Sorry you had to read that manga. I was reading it as it was being released. God, that was absolutely horrible. If that was true, I would be very happy. But both Hisui-chan and I are merely normal, so we have our faults too. Hisui-chan's sense of taste is a little strange, so even when she makes things that she thinks are delicious, for Akiya-sama or I, it tastes really strange. I see. So that's why Hisui doesn't cook. Hisui's sense of taste is a little odd. Kohaku-san, what's her fault, I wonder? Well, come to think of it, you and Hisui are different in your own ways. Kohaku-san, you were always cheerful while Hisui stayed in the mansion back then. Oh, did I look that cheerful? I thought I was always watching you all, though. Yeah, I remember. You would always run around with us, but you would tell us to stop doing dangerous things and look out for us. I really do remember. Playing tag in the courtyard of the mansion, trying as hard as we could to catch my old man's carp in the pond. Hey, remember that time we left the mansion from the gate, right? We didn't know the way to get back, and you ended up calling the mansion, and one of the mansion's servants had come to pick us up. Yes, and after that, Makihisa-sama really did yell at you. Everyone was playing with you, but somehow you ended up being the only one. We did so many things, but in the end, you always saved Akiya and me from getting in trouble. She giggles as she speaks aloud, nostalgically. What's this? Talking about old times, I really feel like I've returned now. That's right. I really don't have too many memories of this mansion, but talking about old times honestly makes me feel nostalgic. But my memories aren't just happy ones. But I did treat Hisui poorly. That girl who was always in the corner of my heart. In the end, I was never able to have a true conversation with that girl by the window. That girl, she was always watching us from the window. Always. It struck me. That lonely face looking down, I always thought it would be great if she could come and play. But still, before I left the mansion, she gave me that one parting gift. That's right. She was always shy, even then, so I never knew what she was thinking. I always thought if Hisui-chan was happy, it wouldn't matter what happened to me. Oh, sorry, wrong person there. The first name was Kohaku. I should have, made sense because you said Hisui-chan, but oh well. I apologize. Oh, Kohaku-san, you really are a good older sister. I'm feeling happy, so I give an answer like that. All of a sudden, with a short sound, Kohaku-san lifts her finger. I can see she cut her finger with the kitchen knife. Kohaku-san, your finger? Eh? After I say that, she seemed to realize she cut her finger. That's true. That's true? Hey, Kohaku-san. I don't believe this. Even I could see the cut isn't really deep, but Kohaku-san is still slow-paced. How embarrassing. I'm supposed to be such a good chef. Kohaku-san gives her normal laugh. This is no laughing matter. We have to take care of it right away. It's fine. It isn't life-threatening or anything. But doesn't it hurt? It's cut pretty bad. No, not at all. If I think it doesn't hurt, then it won't hurt. If I think it isn't my finger, and then it's the finger of some doll, then I won't feel the pain, right? Ooh. With a smile, Kohaku-san says something pretty outlandish. Well, I'm sure if you think of it that way, it won't hurt much, but you can't get rid of it all. Look, let's just get it taken care of. I'm a little weak when it comes to blood, so if I have an anemic fit right here, it'll be your fault, Kohaku-san. I see, then I should take care of it right away. Well then, Shiki-san, excuse me for a moment. The whole time, her smile never cracks, and giving me a bow with her head, she leaves the kitchen. And we are starting the party, and this is where I am going to end this episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, next time we party. Well, I hope to see you all there.